Darry, hello, it's day 3 of our Club La Santa extravaganza, and just doing a quick report on today's activities, and it's been yet even more joyously exercisable than yesterday, which was day 2. So first of all, I'd just comment that at 8 o'clock every morning there's a sort of display from the central island which everyone can take part in, who can see the nice man who does the exercise. There's a 15-minute sort of get started for the morning exercise class, which hundreds of people just do from their balconies. And we aren't in view of the class, but we trotted down to an open area today and saw the man dancing around doing his starting exercises for the morning. And like I say, hundreds of other people, we followed suit. So that's a sort of 15-minute thing that gets everyone sort of in the mood in the morning. And no matter how flexible or awake you are, you can sort of struggle out and do those 15 minutes. So we did that, and then we previously, the night before, because you have to book these things the night before, otherwise they'll just get booked up straight away, we booked a 3-hour cycle, which went a little bit wrong. But let me just first segue aside into the fact that in the Club La Santa these days, they've changed the booking system to be all done via a smartphone app. So that's available for Android and for iOS. And what you do is when you actually sign up for Club La Santa, a day or two before you arrive, you're asked to download the app. You're asked to upload your ID information. And when you actually check in on the day of your arrival, about an hour after you've checked in, the app is fully functional. And what you do there is you've got 300 points that you can spend on booking activities in the future. And each activity has got a number of points. I think cycling was 40 points, for example, and I have 300 points, which I can use to book those future activities. And the reason why it's restricted is to 300 points is that if you had an infinite number of points, you'd just book all the things up, a week ahead, and then you deny the people the chance of getting those activities. So we booked a 3-hour cycle for this morning, and it went wrong. And it went wrong in the following way. Well, firstly, one thing I had never expected on this holiday was for my back complaint. That's this pain I've got in the back base of the spine on the right, this lump I've got, to cause a problem. Now, in Switzerland, it used to be that I could cycle for, 5 hours or 4 hours without any twinging or pain whatsoever. And then when that pain did start to surface, I could slow down, or I could press this kind of bump on my back and sort of press it into submission. But today, literally after 30 minutes, it was starting to really ache. And we planned a sort of modest 40k ride, and it just wasn't happening. Also, my partner had problems with her seat, which were causing a lot of pain. So we decided after about, I think it was about 15k to cut the ride short. So I think we cut it short to about 30k instead of the 40k. Not a great cut short, but we were, about 15k out. So what choice did we have? So we cut the ride short and we came back. We thought we'd do something else, which didn't cause us both pain. And that something else was, we already had a physio session booked at 12 o'clock, and that session was a practical session from a physio saying how to reduce pain, ironically, and live a more pain-free life and existence. So we had a bit of time before then. We thought we'd go out for a bit of a trail run. So we put our trail running shoes on and we headed out into the volcanic dust. We did our first little trail run, which was just a few K. But it was enough to show us the fact that, remind us of the fact that you can't really run on those volcanic remnants. You do need a path to run on. It's just impossible. They're all sort of loose volcanic rocks, and it's difficult to impossible to run on them. So we did find a little path. We used our super duper Garmin watches to plot a course and look at the maps to get back to Club La Santa. And then we went to the physio session, which was a bit different than we expected, because there was a young lady who was telling us how to avoid pain, and it was nice in that it wasn't what I expected. I think a lot of the audience had chronic pain in the sense that, like myself, they had a pain problem which has been established for years. And I don't think anyone was expecting her to rock up and go, to fix that particular problem, mister, you just need to do this, this and this. Rather, she was showing us how there were little tricks that you could employ to reduce the pain threshold. And she did say towards the end, of course, the things that you can do, which I think we will realise, is to live a healthier lifestyle, eat well, have a job that you enjoy that's less stressful, and so common sense things that, if you think about it, make sense to reduce your overall pain when it comes to exercise. So that was nice, and there were some nice things about the session. I was expecting, not exactly a charlatan, but I was expecting something that was totally useless, and it wasn't totally useless, so we were pleased about that. At 2:00 in the afternoon, we had this sort of, let's say it was like an old lady's swim session. It was one of those swim sessions where you put on flotation devices and you do exercise in the water. We combined that with a bit of a swim before and afterwards, just on the lanes. And it was in the North Pool. So La Santa's now got two 50-metre pools and a kiddies pool. But I think the North Pool is not heated, and that's where the class was. And I don't know, the class was wonderful, but I wanted to do a bit of swimming as well. But when I got in the water, it was like, oh, it's cold. Whereas in the South Pool, when I got into water, it was, oh, it's warm. That was yesterday. So I suspect that the North Pool isn't heated. Anyway, we had a nice class. We had all these flotation devices on. It was a lot of fun. Then after that, I had 3 more things happening. I mean, there's so much stuff has happened today. We both signed up for an abdominal class, which Absolute Abs, I think it is. Now, these classes are every day at about 4:00, but they have a different teacher every day, and that different teacher has a different style, and they may focus on a different set of exercises to give you those fantastic abs. And indeed, the teacher today had completely different sets of exercises to the guy yesterday. So that was really nice, and we went through the whole class. It's a 30-minute class. It's only a 30-minute class, but at the end of it, you feel pretty tired. So at the end of that class, my partner actually split because she stayed for the relaxation class, and I thought I'd do, just because I could, do a high-intensity workout class. So that was in the open on the track, just by the edge of the track. We had a nice Dutch guy who put us through 50 minutes of 8 sets of 45 seconds on and 15 seconds off exercise in sort of 2 sets of 4. And boy, that was, very enjoyable. I was frantically searching onto my new Garmin watch to try and find HIT, and for the previous abs class, I think I did it as what did I do it as? A sort of high, no, it wasn't HIT. I think it was strength class. I think I put it as. So all these things are popping up on my Garmin now. Now, these days with Garmin, another segue, these days with Garmin, you can link Garmin to all sorts of other things. And I've got something called RunGap on the Apple platform. And RunGap is an app that can take a number of sources and push them to a number of targets. So it understands something like 20 different fitness platforms. So I've got it, for example, saying Garmin is an input and an output. Runkeeper is an output. Apple Health is an input and an output. So if I do a run on the Garmin, so it does a scan when you start the application, and it says, I'll read all the inputs and then write all of those activities that I find to the outputs. So it took all of those things that I've done today. I think I did 6 different activities today on the Garmin, and has read those 6 activities and then pushed them to all of the platforms like Apple Health, because I didn't do the exercises using an Apple Watch, I did it using a Garmin watch, but yet it will have read the Garmin activities, and because Apple Health is selected as both an input and an output, and today none of the activities recorded on the Apple, so it will have read the Garmin activity and pushed it to the Apple Health platform. So if I then look at the Apple Health platform, which I can only do on an Apple phone, regrettably, unlike Garmin, which I can use a web browser, I'll be able to see all those activities. So, but the translation may be a bit hit and miss. So I'm going to be looking later to see if the HIT class on the Garmin, what does it look like on the Apple? And that's a big segue. I'm just trying to say that the Apple platform was not used today, the Garmin platform was used today, but using this magical app called Run Gap on the Apple platform, it can read the activities on multiple platforms and write activities. So that was going to be the end to the day, but I thought I'm by the track, why don't I just sneak in a quick 5K? So I did sneak in a quick 5K road run on the track, a run on the track, but I had my trail shoes on. Now I brought 2 sets of shoes to La Santa, one of my super duper race road shoes with a sort of carbon blade. And I wish I'd been in those shoes, because at the end of the 5K, it was in strong sunlight. I wasn't close to collapse, but I was a bit dizzy. So I hadn't had a drink for about 3 hours. And it was time to get back to the apartment and have a big, long drink. So again, it's day 3. I think I did 6 activities. It's just, what can I say? It's just an athlete's paradise here. We had such a good time. And there's more to come. So tomorrow's day 4. We're going to start off, with an 8 a.m. wake up 15-minute sort of group exercise on balconies, and we'll take it from there. Thanks for watching, Diary, and stay tuned for day 4.